Hello, my name is Dean Marino. I am interviewing Stephanie Key, who is a pediatric nurse practitioner who teaches at the School of Nursing at the University of Texas in Austin. She has over 12 years of experience, including doing developmental evaluations on children. Thank you for coming to do this interview.
Oh, thank you, Dina. Pleasure to be here.
Before we start the interview, could you tell us more about your professional experience?
Yes, I am a registered nurse who has been practicing in pediatrics for over 18 years, and I'm also a pediatric nurse practitioner. I lead the Pediatric Nurse Practitioner Program at the University of Texas at Austin School of Nursing, where I teach all graduate students pediatric content regarding growth and development, developmental assessments, sick and well child exams. I also practice weekly in a private practice where I see patients, and I specialize in ADHD and mental health evaluations.
What is your experience and knowledge with children under 5 and their development?
Well, as I said earlier, I feel like I'm an expert in the area of pediatric development and assessment, since I do teach students how to evaluate children. We have to incorporate screening tools under the age of 5 to really assess how children are progressing in their development.
What is the maximum recommended amount of media exposure for children under 3?
So maximum would be, the recommendation in the literature is no more than 2 hours a day. Now, it would be better if children had less than 2 hours a day, but in our society nowadays, we find that children are having much more time with media and electronics, and I call it screen time.
Have you personally seen any of the effects electronic media may have on children?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, I do think that our society nowadays that uses so much more electronics, from computer screens to iPads to cell phones to TVs in everybody's room, yes, I do think that it has an effect on children related to their development, their attention span, their ability to self-regulate. Yes.
Any specific developmental or social effects you've noticed?
Well, I think that one of the things I see is kind of self-regulation. They lack the ability to kind of self-regulate and calm themselves down or entertain themselves in a quiet fashion. They need TV to quiet them down or to entertain them. So that's one way. Another is there is some research out there that is showing, well, it's not showing, it needs to be repeated. There needs to be some repeated studies done to see if attention disorders are associated with an increased viewing of media and screen time.
Okay, because I've read one of Zimmerman and Christakis's studies, and it seemed to indicate that, for example, they classified 3 different kinds of programming that under 5 be exposed to, and what they did define them as educational, non-educational, and violent programming. And they said the main difference with educational being only the shows that were thoroughly researched and stuff, the difference is educational shows tend to have longer scenes and less quick transitions to increase the child's focus, whereas their other nonviolent and violent, didn't really make much distinction on that and just did what any normal TV show's transitions usually does.
Right, it's a very good study that did come out, and I'd like to see more studies done, not only in the 2 and under age group, but let's move it on to like the 3 to 5 age group and see, what the findings are. So yes, I agree with that. I think we see that now. And so that's where parents need to be aware of what their children are watching on TV. An educational program that keeps their attention for a longer span of time will benefit them, but a program that's violent or moves from one screen to another, that's that constant visual stimulation that makes the brain fire constantly. And once your brain has been trained to fire constantly, it feels like it needs that constant stimulation to feel relaxed or to feel focused.
Thank you for your time, Stephanie.
You're welcome.
Okay, and thanks for listening.